And hold on, going to build the Hope Bridge. And we are off. Guys, these are the skills, and we are using, of course, the Rena's third job, third job, second path, night quarter. Of course, this one uses a bow, as you can see. And we are on starting on a dungeon on Hope Bridge. After this, it will be running Hope Bridge. Sometimes you have to skip
What's that?
a
You
mission.
think I'm pretty? I know.
We are off. This side is pretty much a type skill. And of course, this one basically set traps. Oh, you can actually let that one escape. Those things can actually take part of our lives. At least 75%. You can actually do combos in here, especially on PvP. Sometimes we're getting tired of combos, like sunlock combos and whatnot. Yeah, I'm sure not to get hit by those things. So this one actually comes up the sword. Oh, ow. Let's actually try to get behind us. Ow. And then it also works. Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Of course, sometimes using a potion can actually work. Especially when you are up against opponents with shield. Oh, oh yeah, by the way, for those who have double jumps, you can actually do it, you can actually recover from it. Just like what I did a while ago. You can you can actually do that on some enemies, especially bosses, because it's actually not easy trying to defeat bosses with just normal attacks. I mean, it is possible, but you still need skills, because having skills uh, gets an additional much stronger damage. Yeah, make sure not to get killed by
Mission
bosses.
complete.
Yeah, but you can actually
Yes.
resurrect.
Mission's complete.
But if you get killed by bosses too many times, well, 10 times at least, We'll just be returning to the village. That's if you don't have enough resurrections.
Strong as I
Well,
expected.
Thanks to you,
well,
the arc glitter, our
resurrection stones. Quite, quite hard, especially if you're still beginning to the game. But you'll actually have to get used to the gameplay. I mean, Z for light attack, X for heavy attack. And of course, you can see here the skills are just basically on the keyboard. And the arrow keys, up, down, left, and right, are your movements here. You can either go party or solo, but that's actually going to be your decision, especially on dungeons. But on raid
Everyone,
dungeons,
follow me!
you're you're gonna have to, but on raid dungeons, you're gonna have to go on a party in that one because you can't specifically do it alone. Doing it alone will cause you a lot of problems unless you're actually strong enough. As you see here, your combat power. That also depends on the equipment you have. Right now, right now we are actually wearing the promotion event costume of the Night Watcher. For now, we are actually using a lot. Oh, tend to use the Night Watcher skills. This is actually just a common skill of runners. Yeah, of course we're gonna. You don't actually need to use that though. It's actually possible to use that while on PvP. Oh, that's actually a close call right there. You're gonna have to make sure that you simply use heavy attack, especially against bosses. Because it's actually using without uh, because if you actually use the heavy attacks against these other bosses, you just have to be quick enough to use your mana. Because if you aren't quick enough, well, that could be a bit of a problem if you're still new to the game. But that's, of course, if you're still new to the game. And of course, you have to at least be quick enough to avoid any attacks. Because if you aren't, well, you just be damaged by a little bit, but that actually depends on the type of enemy. Those are double jumps usually have quite the advantage when going to high places. But unlike a character named Lou,
You're welcome to store your items here
that has
anytime.
quite a jump, I would
Back
say.
to the castle.
Well, I mean, like Luciel our sour cream. Well, she's basically demon, demon of course, but not the kind of demon you guys were expecting. Her appearance may be of a little girl, but as her path goes by, she has, well, let's just say she can actually mature if you're actually going for the second path. Second path, third job. But that will actually be depending on you, of course. If you are planning on going for Lucille or sour cream, or Lucille, because she is the one that he has made contract with. I mean, anyway, the seed of rot is okay, but it's not doing that much damage,
Everyone, follow me.
I, would, I suppose. Okay, it does a decent damage, but not so much. Ow. It actually usually depends on the type of skill, whether it's that skill is an AoE skill. Sometimes they have to evade those, the fire mages, because they tend to explode. Example, right there. Get hit by those things, ouch, but you can, but there's actually a friendly fire on the enemies. Yeah, but not so great, especially using the gliding strike. So- Sometimes you just have to time it right on the enemy. If you see a red outline, that means they are actually on super armor status, and you can actually stop that, but you have to time it right specifically. Not being able to time it right will be a bad idea. Yeah, evading those would actually be at best, because not being able to evade those would be a bad thing. And of course, in the combo, if the numbers are in glowing red, well, that's actually a critical hit. Oh, Let me escape. Eh, small, partial of your health will be actually taken away. But sometimes you just have to check your map in case you're near the boss. So you can actually perform berserk mode. Yeah, that's what I mean. That you have to time it right. And I actually apologize for that. Oh, and there's berserk mode. Yeah, careful by those arrows though. Pretty sure you're gonna have to go to the other side. Time it right. And time is usually an option here. Ow. Yeah, don't get the timing right. And you get hit by that. If you guys have played this before,
Glitter Vanguard is blocking the entrance to the... Look at you. Demon is... You really? Last...
you'll be able to get the spirit
You
of the
did
game.
it! Now nothing stands... Damn it!
Now on the request is Burning Hope Bridge. And of course, Crazy Puppets. Most of the gameplay in here is actually quite simple if you're actually used to the gameplay. But if you're not, well, There are actually some players that can teach you. And going through the gameplay of Elsword.
Everyone, follow me!
I mean, there are actually lots of players who will actually teach you on how to play a game. But just be careful around some toxic players because toxic players can actually teach you the game in a wrong way, and you don't actually want to go through that. So, my suggestion is go to or try to ask someone who is not toxic to teach you in playing the game because um, they'll actually teach you how to play the game properly without any cheats or anything. They'll teach you the movements, use of skill, especially in dungeons and in PvP. And also try to be sure to avoid falling, especially in dungeons like this. And also careful with some enemies with like these ones. Their trajectory is somewhat accurate, but that's actually game logic. Oh, well, game logic is game logic. Yeah, I was thinking to avoid those things. Checking the map is always well, checking the map is actually always good because, as I said, you have to time berserk mode, especially when facing these kinds of bosses.
Mission complete. As expected, I'm the strongest.
Hopefully it didn't completely plan to retreat. Can't happen. Thanks to
Sometimes
you.
have you just skip
Just
well because skipping is actually somewhat good because uh, somewhat good, but that actually depends. And of course, you always have to check your meal from time to time in case you get in case you get anything permanent or temporary. Mostly costumes,
Everyone, follow me.
because having permanent costumes can actually increase your stats a bit, and also with the style. And also try to evade those guys. They're at the back, and it's not gonna lie, they actually have some serious accuracy. Gotta evade them. Oh, especially this one. You actually don't go through the opposite side of this. You'd end up having to fall flat. Oh. Yeah, but getting flattened is just temporary. It won't actually last 10 seconds. But if you're seeing some of my skills as a transparent, like this one, Not clear transparent, but semi-transparent. It's the visibility of the skill. Sometimes they have to use potions to increase their stats. But it's only temporary, of course. Yes, delicatness increases attack power. But that's actually only temporary for a limited time. But you can actually use it as long as you still have some. Now, it won't also be much of a problem, even if you even if you have a lot. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But at least be fast enough. It's usually the killer with the brain puppet. It's usually the ones with the little puppet that's actually part of his life. You sometimes have to check your skills from time to time.
That should be the last.
Is that Elsword's?
Sometimes when, oh yes, by the way, not sometimes, but by the way, if the quest is on gray, that means you can just actually skip it, even though you'll get half of the experience, and no ED. But that actually depends on
This
you,
looks because of you.
What do we do?
if you want to skip it or not. But if you want to skip it, that's actually okay, but for new players, I suggest not skipping it because it's actually important that you need. ED or the in-game money for Elsword. Because you're actually going to need that to buy a lot of items, mostly enhancement items. But um, the more you enhance your items, mostly your armor and weapon, the more it increases your combat power,
Everyone, follow me!
and the more you'll go further through the dungeons. And of course, the mini bosses. Mini bosses usually mini bosses or sub bosses usually appear at the last dungeon of the map. Especially you can actually check the map if you're in a village. Apparently you're gonna have to avoid that one. Yeah, try avoid it the one, especially when you're jumping. Okay, not very effective. It's not that very effective, especially it's only effective when you are actually near the enemy. But the rest, ow. Hmm. Oh yeah, that also improved though. Ow. There's some skills that you still need, especially when you're going after bosses. It's actually basically important. To use and hone your skills. You need to test out something here. Before we head off.
Mission complete.
A lot more demons.
Alert.
How's that? Amazing.
Well, it's actually in. We are already on the ultimate road. Oh yes, the ultimate road. Ultimate road is basically the ultimate road is basically your skill. And in unlocking the skill innocence.
No, go.
Welcome. I've been waiting.
But that actually depends on you. You just have to make sure these things are checked. You have to check them. Because sometimes they actually give out some good equipment. Sometimes not so great. Sure, it does increase your combat power, but it will actually decrease a lot. That includes your damage. And of course, I forgot. Collecting these, doing some special events and collecting them would actually would actually give you a good equipment. But sometimes these types of puzzles can actually be can actually be tricky. Yes, it can actually be tricky, especially when you're trying to move 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 the puzzle. Sure, they can be tricky, but you actually get used on how it goes. And now on to Chang Saker. He is actually the owner of the giant cannon, and Hammer is actually his hometown.
Captain Nemesis, good to see you. Are you hurt? It has been.
Like so. You have to actually hurry to get the quest before the time goes.
We could use every. The power of the Elsword shall protect you.
Especially either go for Lucy or Denka, but that could actually depend on you in which quest you want to go for. They're nearly basically the same, but not all quests are actually the same. Sometimes they're actually the same, especially if they are on repeat.
Everyone, follow me.
Now we have one answer that we did not actually see. Always make sure that you have enemies to clear. Oh, especially also trying to avoid being grabbed by those. Because you have to move left and right to do that. Sometimes you just have to stop by some treasures. They can actually give they can actually give a decent amount of gold. and also avoiding those. Sometimes you tend to have to use a skill, and of course, a falling building like that. Of course, falling building, you're gonna have to avoid those. But you can actually either avoid them or not. But you can actually get a decent or small amount of damage. That skill can actually be effective on mobs. Fatality. And also try to evade those. Especially the one that's firing laser. The skill can actually be effective against those who are on the second floor. And you're gonna have to avoid only the laser. And by then, you're gonna have to start selling because inventory is already full. And also, you just need to attack until the gate opens or destroy it. Depends on the dungeon. And of course, some of her codes are insults.
Welcome to public service. We're number one when it comes to customer satisfaction.
Some of her codes can be insults. But that would actually depend on the path you take. Some can be insults. Some can actually be good. That would actually depend on you, of course.
pleasant journey.
Passive. That's the vital point piercing. Have a set chance to enhance command skills with Erendel. Sword and recovers a certain amount of MP. When activated in the next 7 attacks, have 100% critical hit for 10 seconds. When activated.
Look, someone's surrounded by demons. These demons. The demon knows material.
I have it right.
That's a lot.
And of course, the one you saw her a while ago before I had a talk with Ariel is the one named Chang. His the size of his cannon is actually larger than him. Even on some fan arts, the cannon is actually larger than him. Not gonna lie though, he may be small, but he may be small and the youngest and second youngest of the Elsword party, but don't underestimate him because he can actually wield the cannon as light as a feather.
Everyone, follow me.
Well, of course, thanks to the power of thanks to, and of course thanks to the power of the stone, the magical Elsword, not basically Elsword, but the Hamel's guardian stone. And of course, you also need to tend to do that. Oh, yeah, it's actually hard, especially when you get cursed by giant head. But sometimes you can either check on the map or not. Even on next stages, you don't actually need to check on the map. But there are times I actually have to. Especially when there are chests. That skill is actually powerful enough to knock back bosses, and of course deal continuous explosion damage. That actually depends on you, of course. I mean, if you wish to use the skill or not.
Mission complete.
It actually depends if it's gonna affect the bosses or not.
The Guardian Stone is back to Miss Daisy.
What? Did you find well?
And of course here, we'll actually have to find Rod Rock. Well, of course. And of course, once you actually find and rescue him, he'll actually only care about himself, saying that he would die in a place like that. But if we actually left him there, he would actually. But we actually have to save his ass just for that. Just to make sure he won't end up dying.
You think I'm pretty? I know.
Nope. This one. That is actually effective against some bosses. Well, mobs. Sometimes I have to use them, sometimes I have to. That actually depends on you. If you want to use the skill or not. And be sure to avoid those things. Anywho, we are now on level 65. Always make sure to use the liquid potion. The liquid medicine of fighting spirit. And, of course, it can actually increase your attacking power. And just be sure to avoid the ray of light. Avoiding it was just a wee bit of a problem. Not much damage, but that is what I mean about being flattened. Yeah, avoiding that would actually be a best. Yeah, she is actually too worried about some guy that, well, won't actually care about anything at all except themselves. Let's call some. people are. Um, Mostly the guy in this game, Rod Ross. We may have saved his ass, but mm, he's a real keen apple to save them.
Everyone, follow me!
A real pain, I would say. Nope. Of course, we're still gonna have to avoid those things, especially when they explode. Small amount of damage, but can still cause a great deal now. But sometimes I actually have to actually use the Phoenix Strike in some areas. If you see, sometimes they actually they can actually be used on different types of dungeons. But I would actually recommend not to use them on PvP. I mean, like, you can actually use them because it actually sometimes cause a knockback, but that actually depends on you. I've never actually did or tried to use it on Surgeon PvP mode. And the other one must have killed himself. No, there is a gap there. Ow. You have to really time even avoiding that one.
Mission complete.
Even if you try to use a skill. Yeah, as long as the skill.
Daisy, where are you?
There is.
Lord Rodross. Of course not. Lord Rodross would do all that
See?
effort to save them and not even a thing.
Yeah, as what I just said, all that effort to save him and not even a thank you.
I didn't count on it.
Even he didn't actually come and getting a thank you from the guy.
I found something strange.
The ancient water. That
A demon scientist,
the water levels are.
as the old man.
Well, you know how some people are in game. They can be a real pain. No, a real pain in the ass, I would say. Now we are headed off to ancient waterway. Well, after this, I will actually be ending the stream. Af- well, after this dungeon quest, I will actually be ending the stream for today.
Everyone, follow me.
Hi!
Because we've actually been playing for, I don't actually know how many minutes has it been. Ow. Always think to jump on that one.
Mission complete.
Sometimes just saying these things is usually old enough. Dealing with the sound of damages, dealing with the sound of damages is always good. Because sounding was to do additional damage. Well, it's not just it's just actually average. There's actually just a certain limit. Yeah, sometimes there's actually just a glitch in the game. They're either above or below the enemy. That tends to happen a lot. Heavy attacks always save you last. And that will actually be the end of our stream.
A reflex.
Let's do 40, and that's let's get let's see what we have in store. And of course, that actually concludes the end of the stream. And of course, if you guys are actually playing Elsword, you can actually add me on Elsword, of course. Feel free to. Feel free though. But that actually depends if you want to add me on Elsword or not. If I can actually just receive a friend request, just search my name here, Materia 14.